Hello everyone, I'm Tracy and thank you for tuning in today. So I have a couple of reports that I want to bring to you guys, and these were found in the Hawaii Free Press. It's a online publication. You guys could all subscribe to it and have it emailed to you when they're released. So when I look at this, I pick out stories that are related to the fire. I'm gonna, because I'm gonna be talking about a different Lahaina fire, I'm gonna refer to the most current one as the 8/8 fire, the one that happened on August 8th. And then the previous one was in 2018. I'll refer to that as the 2018 fire. So this story, it kind of revolves around the after action report that was generated after the 2018 fire. Now in 2018, August 24th, there was a fire. It scorched 2,100 acres, wiping out 21 houses, 27 cars, and causing $4.3 million worth of damage. And what has recently been released is the after action report, and it took some time for this to be dug up, and it was released by Civil Beat, which is a publication, and this was fairly recently that it was released, and it goes over the problems that were identified in the 2018 fire, such as a lack of preparedness. The report does not mention that there were no sirens, lack of evacuation routes, cell phone alerts, or the preemptive deactivating of electrical wires. It does mention a little bit about the wire wells not having access to emergency generators, but the overall report states that the response was effective, and that's in quotes. So the thing that is most, I guess, significant about this report is that it was kept under lock and key. This information was not made public. It was labeled for official use only, and that it contained sensitive information. It should be safeguarded, and the information should be shared on a need-to-know basis. That's a quote. It should not be copied and should be kept in a locked container when not in use. And that is what was reported here. So the reason that those reports, the fact that it was not released, is significant because the problems that led to the destruction and the death of the 8/8 fire should have been addressed after the 2018 fire. So it was known to the people who did this report. It says here a 21-page report, but I saw another report saying it was longer. Okay, so it was found that the number of fires, particularly the damage from fires, had been increasing pretty much steadily over year. So it did warn officials that there was a very high risk of a fire destroying Lahaina town. So the 8/8 fire was not a surprise. There were warnings, and in fact the Weather Service the day before let a warning out that there's going to be high winds and a fire risk. So as early as 2018, there was indications that the town was not properly prepared, and the day before there was also a warning. So the death and destruction that happened on 8/8, according to all this documentation, could have been prevented if the proper authorities did the right thing. The fact that it was so secretive is what makes me think that the 8/8 fire had already been planned as early as 2018. So when it comes to a report like this after action report after the 2018 fire, that report should have been given to all the county officials so that something could be done. It shouldn't have been kept secret. Okay, copies should have been made. The public should have been aware of the dangers of a possible future fire. So that is the thing that really raises a red flag, that this was kept so secret, as if someone, or they didn't want anything to be done for the future. So now I'm going to cover the story about kind of revolving around Representative Ellie Cochran. So Ellie Cochran is a member of is a representative for House District 14, which includes West Maui areas of Waihee, Kahana, Kaanapali, Lahaina Luna, Olowalu, and she was born in Wailuku, so she's born in West Maui. And she's been in politics for some time. She was also on the board. She was on the Maui County Council from 2011 to 2018. And so I first heard about her when she came forward and gave her opinions on the official death count. And I think at the time it was maybe like 97 with 31 missing, something like that. And she came out, I'll let you hear the statement she made. I have it.
6 weeks since the fire. Ellie Cochran represents Lahaina and other towns in West Maui and Hawaii's state legislature. Representative Ellie joins me now again. It is good to see you. You were with me just a couple of weeks ago, and when you were critical, really, of the response and even the coverage. What do you make of the declining death toll and number of missing? Do you feel officials are being transparent?
Plainly, I do not. I think that number is very minimizing. I just talked to a pastor who said a couple of their church, 5 of their children died. They committed suicide themselves. That's 7 people. I can look at a house down the road from my intact house, and 10 people died in that home. I mean, these are multi-generational homes that we're looking at. So those numbers, to me, are very skewed. It's very minimizing. I just don't know how the numbers can decline and not increase.
What do you think that the true numbers are?
1,000 plus. I mean, at least. There's a lot. If one house has 10 people, one home, we lost 2,200 facilities, homes, businesses. That adds up to way more than under 100. I'm sorry. I just don't buy that. But I'm not the person retrieving bones and bodies. But I just feel like just by talking to people and knowing firsthand, the people I know that I grew up with 59 years living here who have passed, it adds up. So they say it's the numbers they can, that they can pinpoint the names, but I don't know. It just doesn't add up. And everyone's questioning me too. Why is the number declining?
Yeah, that was my reaction when I saw it come across. I'm glad that you're able to provide your perspective.
Okay, and then she also came forward, and now this interview, I have seen it. I'm having a little difficulty tracking it down. So if I find it, I'll put it in the links in the description. But she came forward and said that on the day of the fire, when she saw the fire coming her way, she called Brad Ventura, the fire chief, and asked him if she should evacuate. And his response was, why? So after the fire had been going for some time in Lahaina, the fire chief had not even been aware of the fire, so no one had called him. So that in itself is suspicious. The fire chief should have been called immediately, even if he was on vacation. He was on vacation in Colorado taking his daughter to college, but he should have been made aware of this. You know, he should have been one of the first people called, and he was not, because he didn't even know what to tell her when she called him. Now, so those two things came out a few weeks ago. I'm going to bring up this article that is accusing her of using donations for herself. Now, she's also being blamed for the Kilauea Malka hub being shut down. Now, I did go to the Kilauea Malka hub when I was in Maui. It was one of the bigger ones. The thing that impressed me about that one, it was closed for the day, so I didn't see a lot of people there, but I did talk to some of the volunteers. What really struck me as significant about this one is that they provided resources like ukulele lessons for the kids, and they were setting up a school to educate the kids so they didn't have to do distance learning or travel to other parts of the island. So I thought that was very significant that they were doing that. I saw the structures, the kind of like shipping looking crates that they were going to be doing schooling for the kids. But it says here that it's being shut down, and it seems like they're blaming her. Now I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on why this article was made and why these accusations have been made. So according to this, she has been not keeping track of incoming money and failed to produce any records. She had received cash donations and gift cards on behalf of Kilauea Malka Hub, but to this day I have no idea what the total of the donations that she received. Now she is saying, this is her quote, like pocketing it and spending it on my own personal needs? No, end quote. Then another quote, so there are gift cards that come in and they're purchased for goods. So she got cards, this is what she's claiming. She got cards and then she bought things for the hub. And this is another quote, and I have receipts for everything. And I believe her. She's handling donations. She knows that she needs to keep her receipts. She needs to document all this. And she's claiming she did. And I believe her. And the reason I think this article was made and why they're making a big deal about it is in retaliation of her speaking out against the death count and the fact that Brad Ventura did not know about the fire until it was kind of too late, right? So this is kind of a typical move on the part of the media. Okay, this is just my opinion. For someone like her who's an active representative of West Maui, she's not going to take a risk by using donated gift cards for her own personal use. First of all, it's not a whole lot of money. I think what I heard is maybe like $500. Okay, why would she do that knowing that, first of all, she might lose her job and her credibility would be affected by this, okay? To me, this does not make sense for her to have done this, and it's clear to me that it's in retaliation of her speaking out against the government. And also, I want to point out, for her to come out and speak publicly on the record and trying to do the right thing by standing up for the victims of this fire, that speaks to her morals and that speaks to her character and her ability to go on the limb and do the right thing. Now, it's not in line with using donated funds for her own personal use. So, yes, good people can make mistakes, but this just does not make sense. For me, the more logical explanation that this report was made was to discredit her. And I really did want to bring this to everyone's attention, and that these type of things are happening. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a lot of content that I'm working on coming up, and I will see you all next time. Bye.